you're going to have to leave pretty soon, but you got to take your kid there to school.
Yep. I'm still doing the real stuff.
Okay. So, but stay with, and you know, now you've mentioned on my show before, and I want to bring this up, that you would like to run for president.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And I think that, you know, I really, after hanging out with you and being around you, you know, I think that is a good thing. Because I think we need more average guys. We're not talking about corporate magnates. We're not talking about people like Dick Cheney who run Halliburton, who profit off of wars. I mean, we're talking about a man on the street, a man that can go. You know, that sounds good for the banksters, but it doesn't sound good for the American people. I don't think I'm going to give you guys $2 trillion. If you run your business so badly you need $2 trillion to stay on top, I think we should just cut you off and let you fail. I don't think you're too big to fail. I think you're too much of an asshole, you know, to succeed. So we're just going to let you go. I think it takes that kind of individual, and I think that's kind of what Gandhi was for the Indian people, wasn't he?
Yo, sure. Well, first and foremost, I don't think he cared for himself. I think he cared more for the populace of that country, the people that he was serving, and that was his main job. You know, everything else came second to that, and that's the way I feel now. I mean, I'm just raised on a farm in Iowa, but I feel like if we all can't do it together, there's nothing going to be left for any one of us here, including myself. So that's what you need for a good leader, man or woman. You need somebody who's dedicated to the cause, who doesn't see their own selves as number one, and you know, you also have to have somebody that'll go to their death for their job. And I would put my head on any chopping block for my job nowadays.
Well, let's talk a little bit, if you can hang out for just a few minutes, let's talk a little bit about your book, Farm Physics. Because you told me a story yesterday, and I'm going to have a guy on that is selling water that has been altered. And
right. Well, this happened last week. David Wheeler called me. I believe he's in Arizona. I'm not sure. I think he's in Arizona. But he saw my videos on the YouTube, my new cure for cancer, and there's 3 parts to it. And he watched it a number of times and called me on the phone and sent me his book, sent me a couple bottles of his water. And
what's his last name? What's his last name again?
Wheeler, W-H-E-E-L-E-R, David. And he was so impressed with what I've discovered that he told me he wanted to meet me one of these days, and he'd like to shake my hand. But this is a very well-educated gentleman, and he's been doing this for 30 years. He's over 60 years of age. He has a son that's 30, and he's made a living doing it. But he couldn't believe when he saw my videos that you could do with your own bare hands. That's what amazed him. He's been treating his water electrically all these years and selling it in bottles. But
well, now Miracle 2. So Clayton Teddington, his story was that he had prayed to God to show him something, show him a way to guide his life, and he woke up in the middle of the night with a formula written in lights on his bedroom wall. He asked his wife, "Can you see that?" She said, "No, I go back to sleep, Clayton." He said, "No, this is important. You know, write this down." She wrote it down. He dictated to her. She wrote it down, and the next morning they woke up. They made it up, and they found out they had created soap.
Well, there's a lot of
part of the ingredients in this soap was something they called neutralizer, which they bottled separately, which was electrically charged water in a certain fashion that made the soap and the neutralizer into something that was effective against snake bites, for even.
Yep. You'd be surprised how nothing will affect us if you south spin your fluids all your lifetime long. I've been south spinning Nick's, my son's water, juice, everything ever since he was born, and I have a sneaking suspicion that nothing's going to affect us in a while if we just start spinning our fluids. Just keep spinning every glass for 13 seconds, and
I'm doing that. I'm doing that on my coffee cup right now.
Yep.
I got three fingers attached to the thumb, and folks, if you don't believe this works, easy way to test it. Easy way to test it. Take a little bit of Coca-Cola, and this is my coffee. Doing it to my coffee. Actually made it a little sweeter.
Yep, it does. It makes the water taste better.
But if you take a Coca-Cola and do that, all the fizz goes out of it. So that means there's some kind of force emanating from your hands being put together like this. And you know that also just that motion, just that motion, to me reminds me that that's just like praying.
Yeah. I could see Jesus doing it over the wine at a feast, getting eyebrows raised by the public there too.
And you know, the only thing I may question on, because I've cured headaches doing the same thing, putting my hand on the either side, or one hand on the back of somebody's neck, one hand on their forehead, and think about it for a little while. No, it doesn't decaffeinate the coffee, guys.
No, it doesn't. Not at
all.
There's always somebody that's going to say something like that.
Papa Bear says Clay's spinning out of control.
No, he's not. He's spinning the right direction.
I'm in control. I got it together, guys. I got it together.
You got it totally together now, Clayton.
But what you're using is the electrical energy that your body generates to reverse the electron flow on a microbial state, on a microism of what's going on here, you know?
Right. Well, what's so important about that is that old 7-year cellular rebuild in our bodies isn't working unless we're drinking south-influenced fluid. And they discovered that 35, 40 years ago, but they didn't figure out that you got to drink the right polarity of water in order to empower this 7-year cellular rebuild in your system.
That's Miracle 2, they created a filter, a water filter, and all it had was little blue rods of something in it. And it altered the swimming pool water, it altered the water in the house. And all it does, what happens with the water coming through your pipes is that it reverses the polarity, right?
Right, that's all it does, just the polarity.
And then if you change it if you change it with magnetics, if you change it with the energy that's in your hands,
right,
then
does the same thing.
Does the same thing. But hey, if you just do that, and you got a nice product that you can buy and sell, right?
Sure. You make a lot of money off people, but that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be spreading the information nowadays around instead of trying to collect everybody's dollar bills for something that we figured out. You know, I figured God gave me this information, and He gave it to me to share with everyone on the planet. That's why I put it on the YouTube, and I'm telling everybody about it. I've also got a book out which further explains it, but the main essence is free for everyone to view on the YouTube. Just go to A New Cure for Cancer, lesson 1, 2, and 3, and it'll change your life. It will change your life. Well, Clayton, I want to thank you for having me on your program today. I've got to run out now and
no problem.
To the second grade class, but thank you, sir, once again, and I'd love to come back any old time.
I'll have you back up on soon, David. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clayton.
All right. Now, let me see. Let me get all this done here. Okay. All right, we got a few more minutes. We've got about 8 minutes. And let me tell you something, folks. You know, I don't know that, you know, I'm not right about everything. I've got a little different way of looking at things. But I check it out, and I tell you all the time. I've told you for the folks that have been listening to me for the last 20 years, I have told you, don't believe anything I say. Don't believe anything I say. Find out for yourself. Go ask yourself, what if what Clay is saying is true? What if this is happening? What if these people have been plotting for thousands of years on how to use us as slaves? How to get us to be good, willing soldiers to go over and fight our neighbors over here. All over, all the same race, all over, all the same color, you know, well, Tower of Babel being divided, you know. Put us into different, you know, they were building the tower, and then God struck it down and gave us other languages, they say, in the Bible. And, you know, Papa Bear says something about the medical establishment is messed up. And, what we are going through with Donna Taylor is nothing short of incredible. And here's what's happening, folks. I mean, now, Donna Taylor has told you, has told everybody, what's happening with Mark. Mark Taylor was the kid shot at Columbine. They came through here to see me. She was on my radio show, and suddenly he's been picked up and locked up in a mental facility. They've had him for a year, 1 whole year. They lied to her. They made her move here. They cost her a lot of money. Then they took all of her money. They took Mark's money. And they're keeping him in. They've kept him in a facility, a mental facility, keeping him drugged for 8 years. I mean, for 1 year. For 1 year. 10 years since he got shot at Columbine. Donna says none of the many Arizona attorneys and mental health workers in the past year informed me that I needed to apply to be Mark's guardian. At an Arizona Superior Court hearing of January 13, 2011, Renee Lonkar, an employee of the Office of Human Rights, Arizona DOH, testified falsely in court to have the Arizona Public Fiduciary appointed as Mark's temporary guardian. Renee Lonkar is a liar and perjurer who had my contact information on January 13th, told the court neither she nor anyone connected with the case knew how to get a hold of me. And of course, the medical facility that's drugging Mark Taylor is refusing to provide his mother with details on what kind of drugs they have him on. I've got a video up on my site that shows the condition he was in the first time they tried to do this in Colorado. That's why she moved to New Mexico. He was unable to answer simple questions. He was not in that state when they came through Tucson to see me. He is now. Donna was tricked in getting an address in Arizona because she thought they were trying to help Mark get over a case of methane poisoning from their previous apartment in New Mexico. And all this is documented. I got all the documentation on this, folks. They failed to notify Donna of the hearings in which the state gained custody of Mark. They lied when they told the courts they did not know how to get a hold of Donna, and neither was she able to get any help or interest when she contacted the local newspapers, TV, and radio at my suggestion. Now, there's a national group of motorcycle riders called the Sons of Liberty Riders that are committed to supporting the Constitution, auditing the Fed, and other freedom issues. I met with members of that group. And when I met with them, it was for lunch. We discussed no business, we discussed no politics, and I didn't discuss this case because I didn't have all the information. When I started getting the information, put it up on my website, I started discussing the case. And immediately, I got one woman that is a member of this group that, well, I just don't understand. I don't understand what is, well, all of the cases, all the casework, the lawyers, the mother, you know, the films made of this kid over the last 10 years, and he's an adult now, 28 years old. You know, so it didn't occur to his mother that she needed to get guardianship of somebody she'd been taken care of since he was injured in Columbine. I got one woman. Well, I just don't understand. Well, what part of tyranny, corruption, and greed don't you understand? Then I started getting this. Oh, and please do not speak to me like I am a moron, okay, Clayton? Because you would be sadly mistaken. Again, everything you posted is either from your point of view or the mother's. For my taste, your blog and other things are far too radical and, yes, one-sided. To call someone being put in a hospital or depression or whatever, kidnapping, is a wee bit radical. However, that's your deal. Yeah? Turns out this woman is a mental health worker and obviously been put in to infiltrate this group to keep that group from supporting me or any of the people that I interview, trying to put down my website, trying to put down my radio show. Bitch never met me. Never met me. And the president of this little group in Arizona, this is a nationwide group, the president of this group, wonderful lady, nice lady, met her, talked to her, gave her copies of my magazine, told her about my books, sent her to my website. She said, stop this bickering, you know, stop it. No problem, I stopped. This bitch didn't. And she is still posting on there trying to all I ever asked was people to, you know, just call attention to this to the press, call it to make a show up on the hearing on the 29th. It'll be on the 29th of this month. Show up at the hearing. Show some support. Show support to this mother and her son who have been really victimized and traumatized from the shooting at Columbine to the lawsuit with that they launched against the pharmaceutical companies with attorney John DeCamp and the whole everything she's going through right now. Show some support. You know, make some donations. They got lawyers to pay. We got lawyers to pay. We got people. We've got to do this. And otherwise, the state gets away with it. They keep the kid, and they make thousands of dollars of him being hospitalized when all he needs is the love of family. They did this to me. They did this to the same thing to Paul Pantone, the founder of Geet. They did it all to him. They did the same thing over and over and over again. Okay. Let me just put one comment here. Okay, where are we at here? Let me get together. What do we got here? It's over. FreeAmerican.com. Go there, check it out, and call me. Ah, shit. Did that wrong. Okay. Hang on. Closed out too soon. Yeah, we'll fix it.
Welcome to TalkShoe. Please enter the call ID followed by the pound key. You may access the call up to 15 minutes. Your entry is not valid, or your call is not scheduled at this time. 8. Welcome to TalkShoe. Please enter the call. Your entry is not valid, or your... Enter your PIN followed by the pound key. You are now joining the call.
Talk show. Recorded live.
You are unmuted. Call recording has been completed.
Okay. Hey, Papa Bear.
Hey, morning, buddy.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. A good show. I was nice to hear Doc Dave back on the line. When did he come back?
He came back. I called. We made up. He never did anything wrong to me. He was just. It was just. We had a moment there when he was. It was like he had sort of went over to being one of the disruptors. You know. I mean, I've got my gold links up on the site, KB Gold. I don't make a dime off that unless somebody down the line that you sign up buys some gold from them. And if they buy the gold, they get it for the same amount they get it from anybody. And he was talking about, well, nobody should buy gold. We shouldn't be buying gold. And in a way, I agree with that, because the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds manipulate the gold prices. And if they got a lot of gold, if they want to sell gold, then the price of gold goes down. If they want to buy gold, the price of gold, goes up. So they manipulate it like that. But still, having a little bit of gold in a foreign account, especially in a Swiss bank, I think is a good thing. David just didn't think it was a good thing, and I don't blame him. I'm not buying gold right now. I don't have the money to spend on buying gold. But if you know somebody that's got an investment and they want to hold that, you can put it into a savings account that'll increase a hell of a lot more than your interest at the local Bank of America.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't got the money to buy gold. My money is I'm saving to go look for gold this summer, But anytime I have cash, any extra cash, I'm out trying to buy silver. That's something I can buy.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs is I got one more silver dollar. They ain't gonna catch me, no. Matter of fact, matter of fact, I always have that silver dollar. It's on my belt buckle.
Yeah, we've been kind of worried up here. What's your thoughts about what's going on in Japan with their nuclear reactors?
Well, I think the transmission of power has its risks. And, I said Obama's idea of greening America is selling that top of that mountain over there to a foreign corporation so they can come up and put windmills on it, and then they'll pipe that power back down to the power station and sell it to you. My idea of greening America is grow your own food in your backyard, trade with your neighbors, and build a wind generator or a solar unit in your garage, put it on your roof, and then you don't have to pay for the power transmission, you don't have to pay for the power lines, you don't have to pay for the foreign companies, and you're using what God gave you right there.
Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of these videos on YouTube, where people are building their own solar panels for 1/10 the cost of what they're, paying at a store for them. And then I'm also hearing, and we don't have it up here, but the lower 48, where cities are either not allowing them to put up any kind of wind tower, you need to spend thousands on a permit to do so.
That's right, you gotta have a permit, gotta have this. Oh, you can't do that, won't work, Clay, because the neighborhood associations won't allow you. That's because the neighborhood associations are just another extension of the communists.
Yeah, exactly, or they take over a neighborhood, where it wasn't when you bought the house, but now they've gated it. And they had a vote, and the people that didn't want it are more welcome to sell their house and move, I mean, it is getting out of hand.
That's right. And, again, they refined the art of slavery, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, you had someone on, I think it was Gary, maybe your guest, I was listening to him on the chat today, he made a comment that he doesn't see the American people, we're basically screwed. He doesn't see the American people getting together and doing what, Dave wants, where we can, I think we're there. I think we just need the right motivation, as far as people learning about what's going on, they're going to learn. I mean, they're going to learn really hard when they try to figure out why all the radiation is coming into their homes and they're losing everything. If it wasn't you lost your land, they're going to purposely make sure you can never live off of it. And you're either crooked or you're the most incompetent individual to be running a country. I mean, you can't have it both ways.